Till this, a ruler controls one of the most powerful empires on earth. His armies have defeated the two greatest superpowers of the time. Gold and treasure pour into his capital. Yet one afternoon, a traveler arrives looking for this mighty leader. He doesn't find a place, he doesn't find guards, he doesn't find a golden throne. Instead, he finds the leader sleeping beneath a tree with no protection. That man was Umar ibn Al Khattab. The traveler is reported to have said, "You ruled justice, so you were safe, and therefore you slept." Today, governments spend billions on security, while trust in leadership continues to decline. So, what made Islamic governance inspire such loyalty, and what lesson has the modern world forgotten? Let's explore the lost wisdom that once transformed world politics. The 7th century was a world dominated by two great empires, the Byzantine Empire in the west, the Sasanian Persian Empire in the east. For decades they fought endless wars. Heavy taxation crushed ordinary families, corruption spread through many levels of government. The rich become richer, while the poor simply struggle to survive. Justice often depended on wealth, status, or political influence. Then from the desert of Arabia, a completely different model of leadership began to emerge. It wasn't built upon race. It wasn't built upon wealth. It wasn't built upon royal bloodlines. It was built upon one principle, that every human being is accountable before Allah. This belief reshaped leaders' willpower itself. Power was no longer considered a privilege. It became a responsibility. One of the greatest strengths of early Islamic governance was that justice applied to everyone, whether someone was richer or poor, Arab and non-Arab, Muslim or non-Muslim. The law aimed to treat people fairly. Umar ibn Al Khattab consistently reminded governors that leadership was a trust, not ownership. Historical reports describe him removing officials when they abused their authority and questioning governors about complaints from ordinary citizens. He even welcomed criticism from the public. Imagine that. A ruler asking ordinary people to correct him if he became unjust. That level of accountability built trust. People believed their system could protect them, not merely control them. Justice became the foundation of stability. The second pillar was economic welfare. Islam didn't simply encourage charity, it institutionalized responsibility. Through zakat, wealth circulated instead of remaining concentrated among a small elite. The poor, widows, orphans, travelers, and those in debt all had rights within society. The famous Caliph Umar ibn Abdul Aziz later expanded these principles so effectively that historical reports describe officials struggling to find people eligible to receive charity in some region. Whether reports reflects every location is equally debated by historians. But the large lesson remains clear. Economic justice was viewed an obligation, not optional generosity. A society becomes stronger when its weak members are protected. Perhaps the most revolutionary idea was how they viewed themselves. Leadership wasn't about luxury, it wasn't about personal gain, it was about answering before Allah. Umar ibn Al Khattab is famously reported to have feared that if even an animal suffered because of neglected roles, he would be questioned about it. Whether governing cities or villages, ladies carried a constant awareness of responsibility. Mindset discouraged arrogance. It encouraged service when leaders sees themselves as servants of the people rather than masters over them. Societies flourished. History cannot be simply copied into today's world. Every society faces different challenges, but timeless principles remains relevant. Justice without favoritism, leadership with accountability, economic compassion, honesty over corruption, communities built upon responsibility rather than selfishness. These values are not only political ideas, They began with individuals, families, neighborhoods, and every one of us. The greatness of all Islamic civilization wasn't in a magnificent buildings alone. It was built by people who feared Allah more than they loved power. Perhaps the question isn't whether history can return, but whether we can reveal those values within ourselves. If this video taught you something new, subscribe to Improve with Hamad, and together let's discover the wisdom that changed history, one lesson at a time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.